Hello, welcome to Clay to Canopy, where I attempt to do everything from the ground up. Last year I made a bunch of these boxes to use as planters. It's made out of cedar wood. I made about 8 or 9 of them, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, whether it's the soil or the spot that we had them in, it was just too hot and they were not nearly as successful as I hoped that they would be. So I'm going to be converting these boxes into some strawberry towers. I'm going to begin by taking apart 3 of these boxes and try and repurpose this wood. Now, fortunately, I left all of the screws exposed in the event that I wanted to take them apart. Also, the taller versions I made were made in a way that the fronts could come off for potatoes. So keeping that in mind and knowing that the garden is always evolving, I did not want to cover over the screws in the first place, knowing that eventually I may be taking them apart to reconfigure them. It's just going to be a pretty quick and easy for me to just pop the screws out, hopefully. Okay, so I did try to drill a hole into one of the side pieces just to see how that was going to go. The hole I realized is going to be really too small. I don't have a bigger hole bit here in the shop. So to get holes in for the plants to actually go, I am just going to mark up some little rectangles and be just taking cuts from the corner out and burying them all over so that it kind of creates this static design, as well as not taking away too much of the integrity of the wood by only taking chunks out of half of the piece. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out one of those. And the hole width is 5.5. I don't want to go any deeper than, I want to leave at least an inch on the edge so that I have somewhere to screw into and I don't have to worry about splitting. Unfortunately, I am only going to be able to remove 2 of these using the bandsaw because of where the guard is. It's a very small machine compared to some shops, so I will do what I can here, and then I will take it over to the table and do it with the regular jigsaw. I went in and I transferred my measurement to the back side of this piece so that I could make it for the other 2, but still leaves me with this middle piece not quite meeting the guard, so I will take the jigsaw to this middle piece, but at least I will be able to use the bandsaw, which I feel like I have more control over with cutting the other 2 pieces. Didn't want to have this much hanging off the table because it makes it very vulnerable, but I don't think I have a choice. Alright, here we go. Readjust. Alright, now that I have one, I'm going to go ahead and transfer that pattern to 2 of the other pieces, and I'm going to leave one alone. One of them is going to become the back side of it, and since this tower is actually not going to be viewed in the round and up against the wall, I want to leave that back panel removable. Not only because it's going to be against the wall, you're not going to see it, but if this is going to get stacked as a trough and it's all screwed together, it's going to be really difficult to go in and re-zhuzh the soil, you know, give it some more love once this whole thing is assembled. So I thought it would be best to leave a backside that could be a removable panel, so that in the end I end up with something that's like this, you know, and I've removed the back and I can get in here and just, you know, loosen up the soil, add some nutrients, add some fertilizer, and not have to disturb the already established strawberry plants in my case. I mean, this could totally be used for herbs, it could be used for, you know, baby tomatoes, just about any little plant that you can tuck in, but in this case it's going to be used for strawberries. So I'm going to go and trace this pattern onto the other two and repeat what I just did, and then I will meet you back here to do the assemble. Alright, I cut up all of my parts, and now I'm going to take some of this landscaping cloth and staple gun it onto these pieces so that you don't see the holes coming through. This is just going to make it easier for me to put the dirt in when it comes time. You cannot stand up a tower like this and expect it to not go plummeting over. Therefore, you need a base that's going to have a wider footprint than what the tower actually is to support it. So, for what is that? No idea. I took apart the other side and took 2 of the old legs and 3 of the 4 sides, and I'm going to basically use them to build a base. Yeah, let's stick that one in the middle. I am going to screw that to the middle-ish area. I'm just eyeballing, and an easy way of doing this is I'm just gonna score some lines, and I'm going to drill just before the line on this side, but I'm not going to actually pile it all the way down. I'm just going to drill enough for the tip of the drill bit to go to the other side so I can flip it over and use it as a guide. It should have penetrated through. There we go. So I have the tip on the other side. Now I can use that hole. Actually going to put this down on the floor and screw this on this way. I think that's going to be the easier way, but I'm going to line up my lines against the piece. And of course I screwed that up. These 2 are actually the back, so I'm going to avoid those holes. I'm going to flip this around actually. Alright. See how bad the damage is. I don't think it's too bad. I'm not going to put in any extra drainage because I did have these set up as boxes. I think I lost a little too much drainage. The wood will seep out some of the water, and then the cracks will also do a bit of draining on its own. As far as the top goes, I'm gonna probably be inserting some PVC drainage tubes so that it makes it really easy to water. And so I'm not going to really do anything about the top just yet until I make a decision on that. It could totally be left open, or you could just take an extra piece of wood and put it on the top and just drill a tiny little hole in it so that you could pour your water in. And that's it. Strawberry herb plant tower thingy, whatever you want to call it.